Welcome to Straight TV. I have a question for you. Have you gone out at night, looked up at the stars, and marveled at the possibilities out there? Especially if you understand God's power in creation. If you really think about it, you're not doing nothing wrong by letting your imagination take off into the stars and imagine the possibilities. Honestly, do you think we are the best God can create? Looking at all the imperfections that we possess as human beings and the constant struggle between good and evil, are we the kind of civilization? Are we the example? Are we the gold standard? No. Let me tell you something. In order for you to appreciate the sciences, you need to have in you a level of spirituality. In other words, your science need to be accompanied by spirituality, by faith. Because there are scientists who are stuck in their research, in their discoveries, in finding an explanation because everything is physical, everything is mathematical, everything involves some sort of physics and chemistry. And since we don't have the answers for everything, it becomes maddening and anxiety develops because we don't have the answers, even though we have the math, we have the applications, maybe even the formulas, but at the end of the day, those scientists that don't have some kind of spirituality in them, they can go insane. And there have been scientists that have lost it because their mind was absorbed by something they were researching. And a lot of the times, if you really think about it, many scientific research requires some sort of tangible specimen. Because if it's not a tangible specimen available, then it's everything becomes theoretical. But a lot of the sciences, the majority of the sciences, has a specimen to study, to develop research on, and provide something new, right? If it's medicine, the doctors have the disease, the virus to work with. If it's an application that it involves physics and gravity, we have the gravity around us, so they have the ways to prove it, right? But if they don't have anything that they can touch or feel or work with, then it's theoretical. But the theoretical becomes possible and readily available to be understood when there is some sort of faith in you, when there is a spirituality in you. That's when you can accept what seems billions of light years away. For example, we have accepted the fact that there is a heaven, right? We have accepted a fact that there is a place where there is no more evil, where there is only peace and happiness near the presence of God, right? But we don't have any tangible evidence of that location, of that place. But our faith, the spirituality in us, has instilled in us a certainty, a calmness, a reassurance that there is something out there waiting for us, right? See how when we think about the afterlife or when we think about what's out there, there is a calmness in us. There is no desperation or anxiety. Why? Because we added to our scientific understanding spirituality and faith. When you add faith and spirituality to the sciences, everything falls into place. Everything is in order. Everything is calm. Everything is acceptable. There is an acceptance. There is an understanding. It doesn't become maddening or with uncertainty and anxiety. No. Let me tell you something. Many ancient civilizations on this planet, before they had the sciences, they had some sort of spirituality. That's what they had in common. North America, Central America, South America, Asia, Middle East, the Europes, They all had, before science, some kind of spirituality. They use spirituality to interpret the seasons. They use spirituality to understand abundance or scarcity. They use spirituality to understand the stars. And afterwards, after that, the sciences were developed. So as you can see, it's not out of place. It's not crazy. It's not ridiculous to add faith to sciences. If anything, God has given us that understanding. He has shown us that you need to add faith to the science that you want to develop, to the science that you want to learn. And that's what we need to understand. That some people think that either you believe in science or you are a spiritual religious person. That's wrong. Those are forces that want to distort. Those are forces that want to keep you still without the capacity that you have to understand. Why can it be both? Why cannot I believe in science, but at the same time, I could believe in spirituality? It could be both. If anything, God invites us to intertwine both science and spirituality. Now let's do something. I invite you to analyze something. Think about it. In the beginning, God created Adam and Eve. When God created Adam and Eve, they were innocent, perfect, and eternal. That was God's plans with Adam and Eve, right? They were kept safe and in the Garden of Eden. But something happened. Something changed, right? To the point that Adam and Eve were expelled and they had in their biological clocks a time to end, time to be born and end. So they no longer were immortals. They no longer were eternal. So you don't think that God has the power to completely fulfill that plan he had with Adam and Eve somewhere else? Yes, he does. Do you think he has the capabilities to recreate somewhere else a Garden of Eden and without the interference of Satan fulfill the plan he had initially with Adam and Eve? Yes, to be eternal and innocent and live forever. Yes, yes, he can. Can he also develop somewhere else in a far distant star system a planet where there is just animals, sea creatures? Yes, no humans? Of course, of course. Or can he have somewhere else a planet where there's just flowers? Just flowers. Beautiful flowers of all kinds of flowers. No other living animals or sea creatures or humans, just flowers. Yes, he can. He can do whatever he wants. So see how God invites us to understand his power through science and faith. He invites us to think about what he can create and do somewhere else. He's not limited to this planet. His power is not limited to this creation, to this time, to this solar system. His power is endless and limitless. And see how when we think about this stuff, there is, if anything, admiration and respect. Yes. If we have an acceptance and recognition to the power. Yes. So God invites us to join faith and science together. Our minds are limited on its own, but with faith, they are limitless. Your mind becomes unbound in the sense of getting rid of all barriers of being limited in understanding. You understand the possibilities. That's what I invite you to understand. That's what I invite you to keep in mind. So there are forces here that are going to try to always discourage you, dissuade you, ridicule you, stigmatize you, to think poorly, to doubt, to have an incredulous faith. Who do you think those forces belong to? To Satan. He's the one against God's power. He's the one that wants to get in the way. He's the one that wants to put obstacles. I want you to be wise, calm, and collected. Don't let anxiety or people take that away from you. You have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you have the capabilities, and together we could become a type 1 civilization one day. Because even scientists say we're not even type 1 civilization. We are considered still primitive to the possibilities of another civilization out there. And we will eventually talk about the possibilities and what formulas or what ingredients will help us acquire a higher civilization. Thank you.